Roman Reigns and Jey Uso are continuing their feud, so we'll see what's the latest there. We'll also check out a big change for Rhea Ripley, The Rock, and more. Let's start things off with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso's face-to-face meeting on SmackDown. Roman and Jey exchanged a lot of words with each other, and there was one big individual that was constantly mentioned in their conversation, and that was Jimmy Uso. Despite Jimmy not physically being there, this conversation revolved around him a lot and left the door open for several outcomes. Roman Reigns opens up by taking credit for all the Usos' recent success. We've heard Roman use this argument in times past, and he used it again here, saying that fans only cheer for the Usos and know who they are because of him, and the platform that he's given them to elevate themselves. Roman accuses Jey of wanting to steal the tribal chief position from him over the last 3 years. But Jey surprisingly said that it wasn't true. He said that he never wanted it and truly believed at one point that Roman was fit to run the family, and that's why the Usos supported him. But now Roman has broken the family, broke Jimmy, and how it's all Roman's fault. And that's when Roman starts to pin the narrative in a very interesting direction. Roman points out that as soon as Jimmy went down, the first thing Jey did was ask for a title match, and how that was selfish. Roman then goes back to 2020 and says that the only reason Jey became the right-hand man and had all these opportunities was because Jimmy wasn't there and was hurt. Roman said that if Jimmy wasn't hurt, Jey would have never had a chance of being the right-hand man, and how Jey took that spot from Jimmy. Roman says that because of how he screwed Jimmy. Jey is going to be all alone at SummerSlam. So Roman's narrative is obviously a very manipulative one, and it's far from the truth, but it still teases and hints at some interesting possibilities. Roman's argument is that Jey is selfish, and every time that Jimmy Uso is hurt or not around, Jey uses this time to selfishly try to get more and more solo opportunities for himself and take advantage of Jimmy's injuries. That was the case in 2020. Jimmy wasn't around and was hurt, so Jey took this time to try and come after Roman Reigns and the Universal title. And then after that, Jey became the right-hand man, and as Roman pointed out, Jimmy wasn't there. So Jey really didn't have anyone to compete with for the spot. And right now in current day, once Jimmy went out, Jey immediately wanted a title match. So if you look at it from Roman's perspective, maybe he's sort of got a point brewing there. Jey truly tries to take advantage when he's on his own. And how does Jimmy feel about that? If Jimmy was watching this segment from home, did those words from Roman get to his head? Look at everything Roman has done over the last few years through manipulation. He's extremely good at manipulating people and planting ideas in their heads to get exactly what he wants. And even a few months back, Jimmy did confess to Jey's face that he did have some issues with the fact that Jey was the right-hand man. So it does make you wonder if any of that could come back up in the near future. And with how heavily Jimmy was mentioned here during this promo exchange, and how Roman stressed how Jey will be alone at SummerSlam, it basically seems like WWE's way of teasing and hinting at the idea that Jey won't in fact be alone at SummerSlam, and how Jimmy Uso has a very high possibility to return during the tribal match. Although everyone was automatically assuming that Jimmy will be on Jey's side, it looks like Roman's words could be seen as a way of providing Jimmy Uso some reasoning for actually coming after Jey Uso instead at SummerSlam. Maybe Jimmy realizes that Roman has a point, and he sees that Jey really is selfish and cared more about getting that Universal title match than anything else. Even though Jimmy attacking Jey would be great for shock value, it is a bit silly within the story because the last few months have been about the brothers realizing that Roman is the problem and how they have to get away from him. So to go from that to all of a sudden Jimmy accusing Jey of not caring about him and being selfish would definitely be a bit silly. But it looks like this segment was definitely teasing the idea of Jimmy having a reason to come after either Roman or Jey during his return. Another big viral moment of the night came during the main event matchup between Grayson Waller and Jey Uso. Grayson Waller mocked The Rock and went for the people's elbow on Jey Uso. Interesting enough, the camera immediately panned over to Roman Reigns to show his reaction to Grayson mocking The Rock, and Roman did laugh a bit at the mockery. Grayson Waller has been going back and forth with The Rock on social media and continues to take these subliminal shots at The Rock every week on SmackDown. And at the same time, everyone knows that the fans have been fantasizing about an interaction between The Rock and Roman Reigns for several years now. So this quick moment here definitely appeared to be a little nod to everything going on there. Fans are starting to have conversation about if The Rock can make his long-awaited return to confront Grayson Waller, or if The Rock will address Roman Reigns first. That's the popular discussion there. But no solid news or rumors about The Rock's actual return is out there right now. It was recently reported that a big change was made not too long ago involving a big Rhea Ripley match. Fightful reports that the original plans for Rhea versus Zelina Vega back at Backlash was for Zelina to get squashed by Rhea within seconds. And it looks like as the match got closer and they saw of how much a hometown hero Zelina would be, and how it was a big homecoming for her, they decided to cancel the squash and actually give Zelina a respectable amount of offense in the match. And it was a great change for sure, because having all of that homecoming story come crashing down with a squash would have been devastating. It looks like WWE decided to move those squash plans over to Rhea's feud with Natalya, because Rhea did squash her in a few seconds only a few weeks after Backlash. The WWE women's title scene has a lot going on right now. Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair teamed up to take on the new women's tag team champions, Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. And the story of this match followed the same dynamic we usually see from the unusual tag team pairings like this. It was all about how Sonya and Charlotte were tagging each other in during unwanted times and trying to one-up each other. The finish of the match saw Bianca Belair hit the KOD and getting ready to pick up the win, but Charlotte forcefully tagged herself in to steal the spotlight and pick up the win for herself. Bianca Belair then spoke with the SmackDown Lowdown to say that she felt used by Charlotte Flair and how she didn't need or ask for help. Fans, on the other hand, didn't like how weak this match made Chelsea and Sonya look as new champions. Sonya and Chelsea are supposed to be the champions of the tag team division, yet they got quickly handled by a tag team that wasn't even getting along. So it's a weird look for the champions. WWE also teased the idea of Io Sky cashing in at SummerSlam, so that's another element that could be added to SummerSlam. It's definitely going to be an interesting triple threat match because you have three women that don't really get pinned that often, and someone will have to take the pin here. A lot of the story has strongly been focused around Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair, leading many fans to wonder if those two will be walking out of SummerSlam with the title. Asuka's really been in the background of this entire story despite being the champion, so a lot of fans don't like her chances to retain at SummerSlam, but we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening there. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.